Hi folks. I wanted to thank everybody for all the views I had on my initial review on the H80 cooler from Corsair. Right off the beginning, I want to give you the progression of air coolers I went to before I went to the H80. Obviously right there in front is the jet airplane. It's a friggin' jet engine when it's running to keep my CPU cool. That's stock cooler. That went bye-bye in a week. I used that to break in for the break-in period on the CPU. It still works awesome. It's still hot as hell. Let's see. My next one was from Roswell. It's got a 92mm fan. It's nickel base. It ended up having a PWM error. In other words, during post my motherboard said it wasn't connected, and it was obviously connected. I contacted Roswell and they said, basically in so many words, you can hold your hand on your ass because we're not giving you another CPU cooler. So in 3 days that went in a box. Then here's a funny one. This is my Rocket Fish. You can see that Rocket Fish CPU cooler. Another mistake I made, it's a 3-heat direct touch heat pipe CPU cooler. But this thing's a beast. I mean, if it wasn't that I wanted to eventually go to water cooling, I'd still have this in there. But this CPU cooler, for the $25 I spent on it at Best Buy, one of the best, in my opinion. I don't care about it because I'm not using it no more. But anyway, that's the progression I went through to get to the H80. Since I've done my review, there's 3 or 4 more professional, definitely more streamlined and informative reviews out there. But this video is to thank everybody for viewing my initial review, and hence my name. That's my 07 300C. It's got a Hemi and my 3 awesome kids. Okay, back to matters at hand. An FYI video as well on why I chose AMD over Intel. And in a nutshell, it's basically cost. I mean, it's not that I can't run an Intel rig, it's just that I chose not to, because this 955, pull that case off just for a sec, okay? Give me a sec. That's the fan that made most of the noise the other day. And with the 5 120s I have in this case, it is kind of noisy. Anyway, the Asus M4N98TD Evo motherboard. That motherboard is phenomenal. I chose the AMD platform simply because, you know, best bang for the buck. Again, like I said, it's not that I can't put an Intel set together, it's that I chose not to. This platform, the way it sits right now, runs hand in hand with the i5 920. You know, as far as benchmarks goes, Intel was basically a power user, business-oriented, mainstream processor. The AMD, you know, it can't compete. A lot of people say that Intel is way better than AMD, and in 85% of the cases, they're absolutely correct. Intel is just a more power-oriented CPU. Throughput is what you're looking for when you're getting to AMD. This motherboard, the 8+1 power phase, that 1 VRM power phase is meant directly for the PCI Extreme bus. What else can I say about that? That's extreme right there. At the time, this motherboard was the only one that supported, you know, future-proof, the next-gen 6-core AMD AM3 processor and 16x2 PCI Extreme. Most of them either had one 16x or one 8x, or one 16x, but when you put SLI or SLI configuration, it split it in half. This one here runs 16x times 2, which is pretty cool. One downfall, I believe, in my case, and hindsight's always 20/20. I'm using the Seagate Barracuda 500 gigabyte SATA drives in RAID 0. I know I should have went with a Western Digital Corsair Black, but hindsight's always 20/20. The next $120 I have will go to that. There's my 320 gigabyte external drive, eSATA. My backups, I run that every week, just because of the RAID 0 aspect of it. My memory, I chose XMS3 memory I was running for a while. Dominator, 12800, 1600 megahertz. Man, what a difference. I'm loving it. The stumbling block I ran into, a little more on this little bad boy. This bad Larry is the XFX 850. Single rail, 70 amps on that single rail. This bad Larry will power quad SLI or, you know, quad Crossfire, depending on the system it's in. It's the H80. I mean, you know, well, actually, back to the cards, the EVGA GTX 460s. When I got this board, I bought an SLI pack from Newegg, the 9800 GT Kimbo video cards, and I was absolutely impressed by the scaling that you get from an SLI set. I got rid of the 9800s and I upgraded to a single GTX 460, just for, you know, shits and giggles, pardon the French. And then I realized through, you know, the web and education that I can throw a 9800 in there that is dedicated to physics for my Mafia 2 and Alien vs Predator. And it actually was a bottleneck. The GTX 460 alone ran at a much better FPS than the 460 with the 9800 dedicated to physics. So I pulled that out and I threw another GTX 460 in there, and I'm averaging, you know, 45, 50 frames a second in Crisis benchmark, which in my opinion, after 30, 34, 35 frames a second, your eye can't tell the difference. Again, I want to thank everybody for checking out my initial bid, and I appreciate it. Thank you very much.